Hello everyone, my name is Jahan and I'm from Group 8. My number is 14. Today we will read Romeo and Juliet. Long ago, in the beautiful city of Verona, there were two great families, the Capulets and the Montagues. They were noble and powerful, but they hated each other with a deep and ancient hatred. Even their servants would start fights in the streets. The Prince of Verona wanted them. If you fight again, your lives shall pay the price. In this city lived young Romeo Montague, handsome, kind, and full of dreams. At first, Romeo was in love with another girl named Rosaline, but she didn't love him back. His friend Mercutio and Benvolio wanted to cheer him up, so they convinced him to sneak into a grand party at the Capulet's house. That night, the Capulet mansion was filled with music and light. As soon as Romeo saw Juliet, the daughter of Lord Capulet, he forgot Rosaline completely. Juliet, too, felt her heart for a moment. It was love at first sight. They danced together, not knowing that they were from enemy families. When they found out later, they were shocked, but their love was stronger than their family's hatred. That night, Romeo secretly returned to the Capulet's garden. He stood beneath Juliet's balcony, whispering to the stars. "Perhaps what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun." Juliet appeared above, and they confessed their love. They promised to marry in secret, believing that their love could bring peace between their families.
Hello, Miss On. My name's Chong Mỹ Hạnh, and my number is 50. I will continue Romeo and Juliet's story. The conflict. The next day, Romeo went to Friar Lawrence, a high priest, and begged him to marry them in secret. The friar agreed, hoping that their love might end the hatred between the two families. The secret wedding took place quietly in the church. Romeo and Juliet were filled with joy. They were now husband and wife, united by love and faith. But tragedy came too soon. That same afternoon, Tiba, Juliet's cousin, met Romeo on the street and challenged him to a duel. Romeo refused, saying, "I love you more than you can understand." He couldn't find a man who was now family to him. However, Tiba insulted Romeo and attacked him. Mercutio, Romeo's best friend, stepped in to defend him and was killed by Tiba. Blinded by rage and grief, Romeo drew his sword and fought back. He killed Tiba. When the prince heard about the fight, he spared Romeo's life but banished him from Verona forever. Romeo had to leave that very night. Before he went, he secretly came to Juliet's room. They spent one last night together, crying, holding each other tightly, and promising to find a way to reunite. The next morning, Romeo left Verona, and Juliet felt her world collapse. Her parents, unaware of her secret marriage, decided to marry her to Count Paris. Juliet begged them to stop, but her father shouted, "Get thee to church on Thursday, or never after look me in the face." Desperate, Juliet ran to Friar Lawrence for help.
My name is Duy, and I will talk about the tragic end. In this, Friar Lawrence came up with a desperate plan. He gave Julius potion that would make her appear dead for 42 hours. He promised to send a letter to Romeo explaining everything, so Romeo could come and take her away when she woke up. Julius returned home and drank the potion that night. The next morning, her family felt her cold and lifeless. They cried in sorrow and placed in her capitalist family tomb, but fate was cruel. The letter never reached Romeo. Instead, his servant brought him terrible news. Julius was dead, and Romeo's heart shattered. He poured a vial of poison and rode back to Verona in the dead of night. So, at the Capulet tomb, he saw Julius lying beautifully, her face still beautiful and full of light. He held her hand, kissed her lips, and whispered, "Here to my love." Then he drank the poison and fell beside her, dead too. Moments later, Juliet awoke. She looked around and saw Romeo's lifeless body. She tried to drink the poison, but there was none left. So she took Romeo's dagger and she said shortly, "Oh, heavy dagger, with my this is stasis. There's rust and let me die." Then she stabbed herself and fell next to Romeo. When the family and the prince arrived, they were filled in grief and regret. Lord Capulet and Laura Montes shook hands, ending their hardest at the last. But it was too late. The sprite of peace were the lives of their beloved children. Okay, that's all. Thanks for listening.